Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Host for this evening, Ge Holla, GeHolla.com, GeHollaRadio.com, F.M.G.media.com, excuse me. Our VIP guest is Rampage. He is a highly respected in the hip-hop arena. With 2 days from the breeding grounds of Brooklyn, New York in 94, he partnered with his first cousin, hip-hop legend Busta Rhymes, to form the most successful hip-hop group to enter the music game, which is the Flip Mode Squad. And he went by the moniker of the first lieutenant and the last Boy Scout of the Flip Mode Squad. Tuned in. Stay tuned in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Thank you for being a part of GeHolla.com. And this is a hip-hop legendary moment. Thank you.
What's going on, bro?
Cool. Everything is good, man. We're glad to have a legendary artist like yourself, over 20 years in the game.
Thank you.
Still doing your thing.
Thank you.
Still one of the most creative
you,
groups to ever come out. Flip Mode Squad, Rampage, is loving all your singles from even back in the day. They still relevant. Those are timeless hits to me, in my opinion. And we just want you to keep doing your thing, bro.
Thank you, bro. I salute you. Thank you for having me. For real, for real.
All right, cool. Thank you for being on. So we got a few fans, followers, and subscribers. Wanted to know that they noticed that Busta Rhymes, the legendary artist, again, like I see greatness just runs through the family. It's a dynasty. Who is your first cousin? How was that working with him coming into the music game?
Well, working with Busta was great. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, before the music, you know, we came up together. You know what I'm saying? Our mothers raised us together. So, you know, and he's my first cousin as well. So, you know, being on the block, you know, just like little, you know, kids growing up in the 80s, man. You know, riding bikes, playing Skelly, playing G.I. Joe men, you know what I'm saying, action figures, writing in notebooks, doing all the crazy stuff we do. You know what I'm saying, as kids growing up. We had a good childhood, man. I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, while we were growing up, you know, Bus took it real serious with the rapping thing. I was just always there when he was rapping, so, you know, when he was on the stoop writing raps, I was sitting there understanding it a little bit. Then I went back to riding my bike. So, you know, I was just happy being out, hanging out with my older cousin.
No, that's right. I feel that. That makes a lot of sense. Going into doing your first single, how was that? Like, were you really excited? Like, okay, man, I really got to put something out here so the audience can feel it. Because, you know, doing it at that time was like a real good time for hip hop. I refer to it as the golden era. You know, that's when we was really out there doing it.
It definitely was the golden era. That was the demo process. You know, when you did records at that time, before you put them out, they were called demos. So you would have demos, you could play it for everybody. So back then, before I got signed in '92, I was doing a lot of demos. And I had a cousin who had a full-fledged studio at the time. He was producing Leaders of the New School, which is Backspin, who did my first single. I was always in his studio, you know, looking at the process of artists recording. I was there being quiet, and I was just being a student, understanding what the game is. See, right now in this era, we don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Being in the studio, doing the process of making a record and putting a record together with one producer, not 20 producers. I'm so used to dealing with one producer. You know what I'm saying? So the process of making a record, he taught me about the bars, you know, how many bars I needed, what type of chorus I needed. Like if I couldn't make up a chorus, he would help me with the chorus. He would show me what format to put the chorus in. So back then, you know, making demos for a couple of years before '92, I had a chance to, get a recording contract on Flip Mode Rowdy Records, which was with Busta and Dallas Austin out of Atlanta, you know, Dark. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I had the process of Busta and Dallas having the relationship. Busta was like, yo, I got Rampage, I want to put him out. And him and his brother Claude, man, he rest in peace, they signed me over to Rowdy Records. And the first record I put out was Beware the Ramsack. And, you know, it was an underground heater, you know what I'm saying? So back then I didn't understand, but at least I got the chance to do shows and shoot a video. Now I see the process because everything is a process. And Busta was just grooming me and when he was grooming me, that was called artist development. I didn't know that then, but I know it now. You understand? So it groomed me to always constantly, understand the process of making records, your look, your style, your image. You know what I'm saying? Back then, you had to have a type of image. You had to have that type of have a different type of style. Those were the styles when we would just go back to buying tapes. We don't buy tapes no more. You know what I'm saying? We was buying TDKs, Maxwell's. We was buying 110 minute tapes with the metal in them to put our songs on it. We don't have that process no more.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. We in the iPhone, iTunes, SoundCloud download.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
And you being an artist, especially back then during the golden era, how is it? Is it harder now? Because like say you could just get online and you could just rip it off without, at least back in the day you had to go get the tape or get the album or get the CD and then burn it. But now it's like really super easy. How is that like now versus then with you and your career and and making music and things of that nature?
I love that direct process. Sometimes we can't get to a tape right now. Sometimes we can't get to a CD right now. But if I got this MP3, I can shoot it to about 200 radio stations right now that I know that loves Rampage. I like that direct contact. Every 20 years, every 10 years is a new era. Remember, that's the era we came up with when they had tapes. And before us, in the 70s, they had 8 tracks. So, again, coming far from that era to now, I like it. I love it because now, guess what? I could be in the studio right now and then shoot you a single right now before I put it to VMI, ASCAP, or anything. You could have the record bubbling, and all I got to do is go back and re-register myself. I like it.
Okay, good. You know what? I love to see that. I love to see artists from back in the day keep up with the times and, stay ahead of the game. Because a lot of times I know that's the downfall to a lot of people that's in entertainment because they're afraid of the technology. They hate the technology or they fear the technology. And that is a big hindrance. I like to see that a lot of our golden era artists are still sticking up.
But you know what the problem is, though, bro? And I'm glad you touched on it. I want to bring this back a little bit. A lot of artists from the golden era, if you don't see them now, you saw them then, but you don't see them now like you see me because they're scared of change. That's what a lot of artists from my era, they're scared of change. They want to do the old way of things. You can't do the old way of things no more. You have to move. You want to be alive in this generation. You want to be relevant. You have to move forward. A lot of these artists are scared to move forward. You know what I'm saying? They're scared of this new iTunes and this Spotify and this digital. I'm in the world. I have kids, so I'm in that lane. You feel me? And I'm learning about it, and I'm nice with it. My social media, it's like I like the social media, Twitter, Instagram. It just reminds me of back then was called a press kit, but
that's right.
Twitter and Instagram and all that, it's a digital press kit. But this time I could add my friends to connect to my press kit on what's going on with me right now at this minute, at this time.
No, that's right. I agree, and I like to see our artists keep on working because they got this weird thing where I noticed where hip hop artists they're dated, but see that don't come from us. That comes from outside of the culture because you can look at like rock and roll.
Right.
You see some of them artists been performing since way back when in country music. Right. But our stars, for some reason, I never understood that because we determine what's hot. We determine who is relevant and who is not. Not some big corporation. And I like that you're still out there doing it because we need to get back to that. We need to make sure we keep supporting our people as long as you want to rap. I don't care if you're 100 and you can still spit a little something. We should always come out and still support. So I love it. I say keep going, keep doing your thing, and I'm going to definitely support it. And I tell all the fans and followers and subscribers out there, make sure you all go and legally download their music because we want to keep our artists keep getting paid. Our sound people can keep getting paid. Our entertainment people, from like the janitor that sweeps up the room to the engineer and the artist, everybody should get paid. So please make sure you all go and download everything legally. Now, I see that you definitely have a new single that's coming out called Pound Cake. Tell us more about that.
Real talk. Well, Pound Cake is a record that, I felt that was good for the clubs. When you're in the shaky bus, I call it, when you're in Magic City or wherever you at, seeing some adult entertainment, this Pound Cake record is a record for that. You know what I'm saying? And it has that old school feel to it as well. It's produced by Felony Music. He's from Philadelphia, also is my cousin and my producer. So, it was a great record. He played the record. I was like, this record sounds familiar. Let me put the new 2016 flows on it with the throwback vibe, with the shaky butt mixed all in together. Guess what? That's a new Rampage record that makes Rampage relevant. So here we got it, which is Pound Cake.
Okay. Yeah, we're definitely gonna check that out. I like that. Because like you said again, we are in the era now where you can go I'm in Georgia, so you can go to Magic City, and you can break your record in. You can go to Body Tap, and those are really good networking avenues to take. Because if the girls are dancing to it, it's gonna get played, and it's gonna be something that's gonna vibrate throughout the city.
Guess what? So it makes Rampage relevant again. Who? Rampage? Right. If I didn't know him and I heard the record, then I'll become somebody new again. And that's cool. I like new money. It's all good. But again, we artists that's from that era, that golden era, we have to move on with change. If we don't move on with change, then we can't get no change, because you consider it old school. You consider it way old. And there's nothing wrong with that unless you got a lane to move on. I always got a lane to move on. Either I'm rapping, either I'm ghostwriting, either I'm doing a cartoon, either I'm doing my restaurant, either I'm on my social network. That makes me relevant to the world to see what I'm doing right now. That's where everybody get it twisted. You can't come from my golden era and not have a lane to move forward. See, the lane of me moving forward is the reason why I'm on this call. It's the reason why I'm on this station.
That's right. That's right. Now, and we appreciate it. That's definitely true.
Let me see that pound cake. I said it. Let me see that pound cake. Turn around, boo. Let me see that pound cake. I said it. Let me see that pound cake. Turn around, shorty. Let me see that pound cake. I said it. Let me see that pound cake. Turn around, love. Let me see that pound cake. I said it. Let me see that pound cake. You looking sexy with that slut walk. You ain't really gotta talk. Damn, you popping on the scene. Make a dude wanna get in between. Donkey looks spacious. You thick in all the right places. You ain't even gotta get your weight up. Put a bottle on your ass, straight up. You so bad you don't need no introduction. Getting money, how you function. Sliding down a pony, how they jumping. Getting 20 racks, it's nothing.